Hey, yo, what is the NLH Crew? Welcome back to another video, man. Today I'm going to bring about y'all another discussion / analysis video. And with the recent releases of Across the Spider-Verse and the Flash film, I just wanted to talk about this aspect of time travel, this aspect of canon events. And obviously for the people who've seen this, it's been like a month or two. Fuck spoilers. If you didn't see it, get fucked. But all jokes aside, if Miguel O'Hara is so serious, if he believes in this philosophy of whatever happens in a canon event needs to happen, I want to explore will he do this in other aspects of media, in other aspects of fiction, whether it be with Trunks and anime, or whether it be with the Flash and DC / fiction type shit. And I just want to bring about the discussion of what these people did, why they had to do the canon events that they had to do, and what would have happened if they just stuck to Miguel O'Hara's philosophy of just sticking to said canon events. And all in all, this should be an interesting video that y'all should fuck with. So without any further ado, let's jump into it. Cue that intro. Alright, before I explain it from all the different aspects of media, I'm going to let Miguel O'Hara explain what a canon event really is, just in case y'all don't know. So, Miguel O'Hara, take it off.
This here, this is all of us. All of our lives woven together in a beautiful web of life and destiny. The Spider-Verse. Spider-Verse? Oh, that's stupid. It's called the arachno-humanoid polymultiverse. Which sounds stupid too, I guess.
And these nodes where the lines converge?
They are the canon. Chapters that are a part of every spider story, every time. Some good, some bad, some very bad. Just keep going.
Uncle Aaron.
This one, event ASM 90. A police captain close to Spider-Man dies, saving a kid from falling rubble during a battle with an arch nemesis.
Captain Stacy. I'm so sorry.
What of it? That's how the story's supposed to go. Canon events are the connections that bind our lives together. But those connections can be broken. That's why anomalies are so dangerous. Inspector Singh's death was a canon event. You weren't supposed to be there, and you weren't supposed to save him. That's why Gwen tried to stop you.
I thought you were trying to save me.
I was doing both.
And now, Miles, because you changed the story, Pavitra's dimension is unraveling. If we're lucky, we can stop it. We haven't always been lucky.
That wasn't me. That was the spot.
It's what happens when you break the canon.
How do you know?
Because I broke it once myself.
Alright, so first things first, I'm going to explain it from the Trunks perspective. I'm going to explain what he had to do and all that jazz. So as we know, in Trunks' timeline, two androids are created by Dr. Gero called 17 and 18. They take over their future and they're just destroying every single thing that lies in its way. And there's no clear direct objective as to why these two do it. They're just doing it for the thrill of the hunt. They're doing it just for the fuck of it. Just to destroy countless lives and destroy countless cities. In Trunks' timeline, all the Z fighters have tragically passed away. And we're talking about Vegeta, we're talking about Tien, we're talking about Krillin, we're talking about Piccolo, we're talking about every single important member of the Z Fighters is gone. Goku didn't even get a chance to fight because he was dying of the heart virus. So what's in Miguel's ideology, this counts as a canon event, and like all this was supposed to happen. So what Trunks ended up doing was he ended up going to the past, finding Goku, giving him medicine so he doesn't die from the heart virus, in hopes that it would change time in his timeline. But however, it does not. It just keeps him alive in his timeline. And it's weird because that's not what he thought was going to happen in that perspective. However, it didn't go out badly. He ended up just using that time, being in their timeline to train with his dad, train with Goku, train with present Gohan in the time chamber, going up against Cell, being resurrected, getting that strength back to go back and re-avenge future Gohan. Going back to his timeline and just completely annihilating 17 and 18, bro. I swear to God, that has to be the best absolute clapping that I've ever seen in Dragon Ball. I swear to God, that one, and then when he went and just sliced the shit out of Frieza, is the two best ones. But, however, this is considered a canon event because technically he is altering time. I don't know how this doesn't count as him like altering a timeline, but I'm going to let Trunks explain it himself. Here's Trunks explaining how timelines and how time travel works in Dragon Ball.
Both true that I came from the future, and false. That's how it works. Time has been split into more than one reality, or timeline. It's a distinction I've tried to make since I got here. That's why I say my future and not yours. Biologically, we're the same, both Trunks. But we're not the same person. There's no way we could be.
What do you mean? How are we the same and different?
Come on. When I was a child looking at the horizon, I never saw anything as beautiful as this. Our experiences, the ones that shaped us, they're diverged. Take our father. You've grown up with him, but in my world, he was killed by the androids about 6 months after I was born.
Wait, what do you mean by androids? You mean like 18?
That's right. In your reality, she changed. She married Krillin. They even had a kid together. But in my world, she was never redeemed. She and 17 were pure evil and tried to wipe out the human race. Father, Piccolo, Krillin, countless others. The androids murdered all of them. They were heartless monsters bent on destruction, and they would have kept going if I hadn't returned from your timeline and destroyed them instead. Think how profoundly she's changed here, from annihilating human life to creating one of her own. Circumstances made the 18s different, and they make us different too. Until I came to your timeline, I'd only seen Father's face in pictures, heard about him in stories. The same's true for Goku. By the time I was born, Goku was already dead in my reality, struck down by a heart disease. That's why I traveled here in the first place, to give him a drug to treat that disease and stop him from dying so he could fight the androids.
And I'm grateful, by the way. You're the best, man.
Hold on. You did it so he could fight. So when you went back to your time, he was alive again, wasn't he?
He wasn't. And that's when I learned how time travel works.
But that's not right. I've seen stuff like this in movies. If you change the past, it should change the future too.
You're not listening. It only affects the future of the timeline you've traveled to. Your future, not mine. You're describing dynamic time travel theories, but from what I've seen, that's not how it works. Those movies got it wrong. There's the world, the reality, the timeline where I live. Then there's the one where you're from. They're similar, but different, separate. Saving one won't save them both.
So yeah, that's basically how time travel works in Trunks' timeline. I'll paint you a mental picture. Look at it as two pencils. Pencil A and pencil B. They're separated, they're apart from each other. What you do in pencil A does not affect what happens in pencil B, and so on and so forth. But however, aside from that, this is not the first time Trunks has quote-unquote broken a canon event. So that's what he did with the androids by going back in time and doing that. And at that point in the story, it didn't really have a negative impact on what went down. Nothing really negative happened. However, I would say about 10-15 years later, following the fact, after all that shit in Z, after all the semi-bullshit that happened in Super near the beginning with the Universe 6 tournament, with the whole beer shit, we go about the Goku Black arc. We go about a man named Zamasu, who, because of Trunks, ends up stealing Goku's body and becoming Goku Black. And I'm not going to explain why he did it. I'm going to let Zamasu and Goku Black explain why Trunks' heinous actions caused these two to become the treacherous antagonists, and probably the best antagonists that Dragon Ball has ever seen.
What I saw in that ring box is a testament to the unforgivable chaos you wreaked upon the cosmos. How many times have you traveled between past and future?
We know everything you've done. You, a lowly mortal, have repeatedly committed an act so egregious it's taboo even for the gods.
You first defied time to save Goku when he was supposed to die of a heart illness, isn't that right? If he had died as history originally recorded, time would not have been split. He would never have challenged me, and I would not have had to take his body.
There would not be an alliance of Zamasus from two separate timelines. The warping you caused made this possible. All this horror, as you deem it, it all begins with you. Don't blame us for our righteous judgment. Blame yourself.
And the rest of you mortals who defiled and twisted reality. That time machine proves mortal arrogance, and why you cannot be allowed to live.
So yeah, this is basically what happens when Trunks, quote-unquote, breaks his canon events. Due to him breaking the canon events, not only did he create a villain so powerful that they had to use an almighty god to defeat him, his timeline was erased altogether. This is all quote-unquote Trunks' fault. Now, let me paint you a picture on what would have happened if he followed the philosophy of Miguel O'Hara and quote-unquote just let the canon event happen. Let's just hypothetically say he doesn't go back to the past. He does not do what he has to do. The androids would probably just eliminate him because he wouldn't have been as much of a threat at that point. I mean, although Future Gohan's fucking dead, he had to go back to the past to go get the training from his dad and the rest of the Z Fighters to become the powerful fighter that he is today. But let's paint another picture. Let's say hypothetically Future Gohan lives. Let's say it just knocked him out. That attack from 17 and 18 just knocks him out. And Trunks thinks that he's still dead, still becomes a Super Saiyan, yada 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 bullshit. And then these two somehow eliminate the androids on their own. This means that Trunks doesn't have a reason to go back to the past. That means that Goku in the present timeline that we know and love, he dies and does not become the almighty Saiyan that we know of him today. So, would I say that Trunks is evil for not breaking the canon event? No. I don't think Trunks really had an option, to be honest. This is a different scenario than like the Flash, which I'm going to talk about next. With the Flash breaking his canon event, he caused so many ripples and so much shit to go down. But at the same time, you have to look at it in perspective of Trunks. Trunks lost everything that mattered to him the most. Flash is over here crying just because his fucking mom is dead. Just get over that shit. Uncle Ben's dead in Spider-Man's universe. You don't see him like saying like, "Oh, I wish I can get it back." Like, no, he just accepts it and moves on. Trunks, he cannot accept this. These is multiple hundreds and thousands of casualties are dead. So he had to do what he had to do. So now, I think him breaking his canon event is justifiable and it's respectable. And he ended up changing the timeline for the better. He ended up fixing it for the better. So I can definitely respect it and I can definitely commend it. So, final verdict, Trunks' canon event, it's alright to be broken. And the final aspect I'm going to cover is from the Flash perspective. So, essentially in the movie and basically in Flash's story, he gets his powers, yada yada bullshit. But his parents have like a scenario going on with him where basically his dad's in jail for like a while, still serving the case, still trying to beat the case like TK. And then his mom was tragically passed away, tragically fucking died from reverse Flash type shit, right? So what Flash ends up doing is that he ends up going back to the past and saving his mom. And like making sure that he lives and like she lives, and then making sure they all have like a fun life and like they're all together type shit right now. A family, right? Obviously, right? But however, with him doing this, he broke a canon event. But in the same aspect that Trunks broke it, and it did cause like a ripple to where Zamasu interacts with Goku and that all that bullshit, right? And the creation of Goku Black and the destruction of the timelines. When Flash did it, it was worse. Flash caused a ripple in everybody else's timelines. Everyone else, like everyone in the DC universe in his timeline, something tragically happened to them. And I'm just gonna let Reverse Flash explain what the fuck happened. I'm gonna let Flash explain what the fuck happened. So take it away, gentlemen.
Oh, Barry, that's the beauty of all this. I didn't do any of it. You did. Think, Barry. Isn't there some little thing, some little good deed you might have done?
I saved someone.
Yes.
I saved her. I saved Mom.
That's right.
No. It wouldn't have changed all this. It wouldn't have changed what happened before her murder. Bruce's parents, Clark's Landing.
Oh, but it did. Break the sound barrier and there's a sonic boom. You broke the time barrier, Flash. Time boom. Ripples of distortion radiated out through that point of impact, shifting everything just a tiny bit, but enough. Enough for events to happen slightly differently.
I just wanted to save her.
Her hero. How noble. Oh, wait. You didn't stop JFK from getting assassinated, or make sure Hitler stayed in art school. You saved your mommy. You missed her. And in a supreme act of selfishness, shattered history like a rank amateur. Turned the world into a living hell moments away from destruction. And I'm the villain?
So yeah, that's basically how time travel works in the Flash universe, right? Basically, whatever Flash did by saving his mom affected everyone. Batman doesn't, Bruce Wayne doesn't become Batman. Superman doesn't make it out of the like his little capsule, whatever. He just gets killed in the capsule as like a little jit. So yeah, this is crazy, and this is something that a lot of people can think about. And these are people in media who are known for changing time. They're known for changing the events that are not meant to happen, aka canon events. And this is just something that I want people to think about, because look at it from all their perspectives. Look at what all of them went through, and look at what their ripples ended up causing. You have a man who just wanted to say, okay, well, these are basically like young adults. You got a man who wanted to save his mom, and thus doing that changed the entirety of his universe with his other heroes. And then you have a young boy who just wanted to change his timeline and protect his future. However, in him doing so, he ended up causing a bigger and greater threat to happen to his timeline than any other previous villain seen beforehand. So no, I don't think what Trunks and the Flash did were wrong. Okay, well, you know what? Now let me switch it up. I think what Flash did was just beyond insane. The fact that you saved your mom, and from you doing that, you ended up rippling everything else. I think what Flash did was wrong. So I think that Miguel O'Hara's philosophy of canon events have to happen works with the Flash. You have to just let that happen and just let it be. But I think with Trunks, it's a different scenario, because, like I stated previously, if he lets the canon event just happen, he doesn't go back in time and just lets his fallen soldiers, his fallen friends just die, and no more, no less. I don't know. I feel like what he did was in the right, because then the timelines would have been completely disintegrated by the androids. So no, I think in the Trunks aspect, it's understandable. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comments down below. It took a while. It took a lot of time, a lot of research, a lot of analysis, a lot of clips I had to grab. So if you guys can just leave a comment, show some support, like, subscribe, you know I'm going to definitely appreciate that shit. If you made our way to the end of the video, comment down below. NLH the GOAT, Trunks the GOAT, fuck Flash or some shit, fuck Ayers and Miller. Not really, but just for the troll, just for the algorithm. Thank you, brother. And with all that being said, man, it's NLH, never lose hope. And I'm going to see y'all in the next video. Peace. Gang!
I don't want the cameras all up in my damn face. My homie told me to never fucking lose hope. I stay home cause I'm trying to get this damn bad. All these girls over me just like Justin Bieber. Nowadays I can't even get no privacy.